What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing my top 5 tips for beginner slash new players that you guys want to be doing when playing Grand Cross. Now, I'm making this video because we have Overlord coming up, and then also the November and December festivals at the end of the year. And so I wanted to kind of make this video for any new or beginner players that are going to be coming into the game. And giving them the best tips that I can. So these are 5 tips that you guys want to make sure you're doing as a new or beginner player, or even free to play as well. Free to play is kind of part of this as well. So let's hop in and let's discuss it. But before we actually do that, make sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the content on the channel. I'll be posting a ton of videos like this. So if you guys like this type of video, definitely make sure to subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's hop in with the first, tip for the beginners. The first tip is going to be build only a few characters at a time. Now, on my main Grand Cross account, you guys see I have a lot of characters built. I have many characters built. But this obviously took a lot of time, right? And I'm not always, leveling up just a random character in my box. As a newer player, you're not going to be able to have this luxury that I have. And so on my free-to-play account here, I'm going to get off my free-to-play account for farming. But that'll be another one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But building a few characters at a time is exactly what you want to be doing. So if you look at like my free-to-play account and the characters I have on my free-to-play account built, look at all the characters that I have SA6, and then look at the drop-off, right? So right here, Purgatory Bond is only SA1. I only gave SA1 because I was thinking I could level him up and actually use him, but I decided I didn't really need to use him. And so me actually doing one SA in him was kind of a waste. But you guys can see from Red King all the way up to the top of my box, all these characters are SA because they're characters that are useful in the game, and I actually do use them for a specific type of content in the game. So I've built all these characters, and over a year, about almost a year, I've been playing on this account. I think it's been about 10 months. Going into like November, December festival, that's when this will be a year. But my free-to-play account, I've only spent resources on characters I know I'm going to use. So for an example, Ultimate Escanor, when he came out, he was probably the best character in the game, and he was last year's November festival. And so I actually did decide to max him out, and because I actually did 6-6 him as well, I decided to buy his cosmetics as well. But this is not something that you want to be doing as a newer player. Don't buy cosmetics right now, as we're going to be getting an event around December where you will have a costume discount and be able to buy them easier. But pretty much what I'm trying to explain here, guys, is that you only want to invest in a few characters. So like, let's say you're focusing on a specific thing in the game. Let's say you're focusing on Demonic Beast Battle, right? Let's say you're trying to do Demonic Beast Battle. My recommendation is start building out the Demonic Beast Battle characters. So you have like Jormungand, so level her up. You got Miguelda, right? So level Miguelda up. You have like Freyr for like Someone Hottie, right? Donar, and even like Ella Elizabeth if you eventually get her, right? Freya with Holy Relics. So things like that. If you're focusing on Demonic Beast Battle, that would be what you want to do. If you're focusing on other things in the game, then obviously it's going to change. But this is pretty much the setup that I've done on my free-to-play account and what I've strived to achieve. Now, the next thing that you guys want to be doing, the second tip, is to set goals for yourself. This kind of coincides with the first tip that I mentioned, building a few characters, because setting goals for yourself is actually part of that, right? So let's say, as I mentioned earlier, you want to focus on Demonic Beast Battle. That's going to be your goal that you want to do. So let's say you're building a bird team. Build a bird team, right? Watch some of my videos, guides for bird teams, right? So, set a goal for yourself on your account and do things that you need to actually clear for your account. So let's say you're like a really brand new player. Maybe you're just going to focus on the story, right? Maybe you're just going to completely clear the story and that's your focus. Or another focus as well could be your demons. Like maybe you want to build demon teams, right? So if you're actually going into doing boss battle and you're fighting these demons, maybe you want to make demon teams for each of them so it's a lot more efficient when clearing them, right? These are just ideas that you guys can get as a newer player that you want to be doing, and that's what I would recommend. You guys have to set goals for yourself so that you have, ideas for what you want to do. It also motivates you on Grand Cross because it gives you things you want to do, right? Like if I'm very motivated and focused on clearing or getting the Champion 5 PvP, then I'm going to be grinding PvP. Or if I'm focused on Demonic Beast Battle, I'm going to be doing that, or Heroes Arena for my LR coins, right? These are things you want to be doing, and you want to make sure you're setting goals for yourself because that's going to be very beneficial. Now, the next thing, the third tip of the video here is going to be only grinding during half stamina events. Now, on JP and Global at this very moment, because of the Hell Festival, and I assume maybe not in the Overlord collab, but maybe during November and December festival, we will be having a half stamina event across the board for a lot of the things in the game. Right now, I think the only thing half stamina is going to be free stages. So let's actually go to a free stage and I'll show you guys what I mean. But pretty much you only want to be farming these things during half stamina, because as a newer player or a beginner free to play, it's going to be really hard to have, you know, a ton of stamina pots, because you're not going to be summoning on everything instantly. You don't have like unlimited, you know, summons, right? All right, guys. So as you guys can see here, you can see that the stage here for for free stage is actually 50% off. This is what you want to see before you start farming something in the game. Obviously, when you're grinding in Grand Cross, there's going to be things you need. You're going to need food, you're going to need gear, you're going to need you know, awakening stones and hand stones, and you're going to be getting all of this while farming. You're going to be getting gold, you're going to be getting like all these things you want to make sure you're doing during a half stamina period. Now, another you know, thing that you're going to be farming during half stamina will be gold. But gold, the difference with gold is that it's always half stamina. So don't be like, you know, like if you're like doing clears on gold, like let me just show you guys how much it costs for stamina, and so you guys can kind of see how much it is. But if you are farming gold, it's going to cost 24 stamina at the most. So that is already half stamina, by the way. So I just want to clarify that. That's the only one that you don't need to see the minus 50% or a 50% decrease. That is half stamina already, because Fort Solgris is always going to be half stamina, at least the gold part. But then if you look at like, you know, these stages right here, they're not half stamina. These are full price. So these will be half stamina though during Sunday on global and Saturday on JP, for English players that are playing on JP, right? So yeah, that is pretty much the thing I would want to cover though for the third tip, is that you want to make sure you're grinding during half stamina, man. Make sure you do that, because if you are grinding when it's not half stamina, you're wasting extra stamina pots that you could have been saving for even more resources when grinding. So that is my third tip. The fourth tip that I have on this tip video is going to be focusing on your events. As a newer player, they're going to be dropping events like this, like the treasure hunt event, right, where you don't need to do any fighting, and it's all just clearing through just like a spin wheel or something, or you know, like a check-in event, or like a Fort Solgris clear event, right? They always have things like this in Grand Cross where you don't need to have like insane power to clear it. Like even this stage, look, 10k power, right? They're gonna give you things like this, and then they're gonna give you free rewards, right? If we look at the rewards here, let me go to this right here. Yeah, so you're gonna get all these rewards, right? So that's why you definitely want to make sure you're taking advantage of events, because events are just going to be giving you free resources that you can stockpile up for when you are leveling up characters and, you know, focusing on, you know, your set goals, right? So this also coincides with that as well. You know, they're all, as you guys can see, they're all, you know, encompassing. So yeah, so just do your events, man. Whatever events are available, try to clear them. If you can't clear the highest difficulty, they have lower difficulties for the newer players as well. But you want to make sure you are clearing events and clearing out all the exchange shop, you know, items as well, as much as you can, right? Focus on the SSR pendants and stuff first, right? Focus on the card sets. Card sets are very important. But whenever you're clearing like an event, so right now this is during the Halloween event, it'll obviously be different during like the Overlord event or during the November-December festival events. But you want to make sure you are clearing for the resources that you need. So like evolution pendants, right? You're gonna get some like weapons, outfits, or whatever, right? Just clear for the things you need, man, pretty much, right? But try and get everything out the exchange shop if you played throughout the event, because you know I have another 10 days on my main account to get all this other stuff in this, and I can definitely clear this all out, right? It's just gonna take a few days to actually clear it out. But that's pretty much that with that. You know, make sure you are clearing your events and clearing out the exchange shops if possible. Just getting as much rewards as you can for free is gonna be part of just the grind, the daily grind on Grand Cross. So that's another thing I want to mention. Now the final tip that I want to mention, guys, is to don't summon on every banner. Okay, so I know a lot of people when playing Grand Cross, they get a ton of gems early on and they're like, okay, I'm just gonna start spending on all these banners coming up. Right, you don't want to do that. You only want to be summoning on banners that are festival banners first off. So you have festival banners, and then you also have step ups that are, you know, possibly you know, depending on the characters, you might want to summon on a step up. And then the final banner that I would only recommend would be a collab banner. So those are like the three that, you know, if you're making the argument for summoning on those banners and the characters are good on them, then I would say yeah, it's worth summoning. But a 600 banner like this, so like as an example, this is the Halloween Merlin that just released. She's obviously a very good character, but the problem is that her banner itself is not great. Overall, you're only having like what, Easton is a good character. Matrona is an okay character, but she was free, right? Green Gulter was a free character as well, but you know, he's still good as well. And then the actual Merlin itself. So if you look at the overall banner, and this is something that you guys want to do when you're actually going through a banner yourself as well, is look at the filler, look at what you need, and look at what, you know, characters are on it to determine if you're going to be summoning on the banner. And that's what I tell people, like whenever I do my Shuju summons, right? We look at the entire banner, we look at the list, and then I'm like, okay, are you going to use this character? Are you going to use this character? No, you're probably not. You're not using these 3 characters, right? So that's just a bunch of characters here that you're just not going to be using, and because of that, that means you want to skip the banner, save your gems, right? That is definitely something that, you know, you want to make sure you do, right? Just skip banners that are not that great, and then festival banners, that's when the big festivals come around. Definitely summon on those, especially with this year for festivals, because the later half of this year when we get November and December festival, those are going to be some banger update for the festivals, and they're going to be pretty insane, most likely, right? So yeah, that is pretty much my my tips, guys. One final tip I will mention though, and this is part of the set your goals one. So this is like a honorable mention, I guess, right? The honorable mention one is going to be push PvP early on, right? This is kind of just like part of your set goals, right? So, you know, set a goal for grinding PvP, but, you know, PvP is very important because it gives you your gems, your you know, daily, or not daily, your weekly gem income, right? It gives you your weekly gem income. Now, if you guys don't know, the way PvP works is that every single week it's going to give you a certain amount of gems depending on your rank in the ungeared PvP section. Now, if you're in like Champion 5, you're going to be getting 50 gems a week, and that's just by you being in Champion 5. You don't have to you don't have to play a ton of PvP matches and go to the higher ranks. You can just stay at Champion 5 and you'll get, you know, 50 gems, which is really, really good. So if you're getting 50 gems a week, you know, add that up. That's going to start piling up, right? So that's why, you know, that's probably the first thing you want to do on Grand Cross, like as a beginner, is definitely like when you're setting a goal, the first goal you should have is pushing your PvP, because as much as you want to do like all this other content in Grand Cross, focusing on your PvP at the very least, at least in ungeared, is going to be very beneficial, because you're going to start stacking up gems, and that's the most important thing I would say for like a newer player, beginner, free to play, right? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it though for the tips in this video. Comment down below if you guys have any other tips for newer players if you are a long-term player. And if you're a newer player and have questions, comment down below, and maybe someone in the comments can help you, or I'll, you know, personally reply to you in the comments. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.